Major breaking news on Monday, June 23rd, happening right now. Major breaking story. I'm going to tell you about it in a few seconds because it only seems like just a minute or two ago, because it's really only 5 or 6 months ago, that Elon Musk was dancing around with Donald Trump on the campaign stage, looking into the camera going, "I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA." Well, got bad news for Elon and Donald now that they're no longer besties. There might be a new sheriff in town who's decided to inform you what dark MAGA really looks like. I'm going to show you that story in a few seconds because Donald Trump, of course, was busy doing two things in the last 24 hours. One, touting his awesome victory by bombing nuclear sites that allegedly or supposedly has destroyed Iran's nuclear program, but also pointing a finger and threatening Iran. "Don't you dare retaliate or I'm going to send you to the moon, Alice." Really, Donnie? Take a quick look at this before I show you this breaking story.
Hopefully we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Atheists know more about God and at least how to hold a Bible right side up than Donald Trump does. But in this breaking story, you really think if you threaten Iran to not retaliate, they're not going to? Well, they just did. Take a look at this.
I'm looking now, major cases of GPS jamming in Qatar and other Gulf states. Iran is bombing Qatar. Let's bring in now Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. You and I started talking about this about more than an hour ago now. Are we where your sources are telling you that we thought we'd be? Have we gone someplace that we're at least prepared to deal with?
Well, Harris, right now, what we can tell from open source reporting on Twitter, you can see imagery of about what we're told from Israeli sources are 6 ballistic missiles that have been fired from Iran towards Qatar. As you know, as we discussed, the Al Udeid base, the largest U.S. Base in the Middle East, is about 40 miles from the capital of Qatar, from Doha. You can see the night skies over Doha right now, and there are explosions in the air. Some of those may be air defense missiles, Patriot missiles, trying to intercept those ballistic missiles. We have no indications of impact at this point. As you and I discussed before, there were satellite images from last week of Al Udeid, where the U.S. normally has a large number of transport planes, refueling planes, that those tarmacs had been emptied of those warplanes. But Al Udeid normally would have 10,000 U.S. troops based there. There had been warnings to U.S. embassy staff to shelter in place and at other embassies across Doha. We also now are learning that the airspace over UAE, the United Arab Emirates, where the United States military has another large military base, that airspace has been closed. And we also understand there could be an imminent threat to U.S. troops and personnel at bases in Iraq. That, if you remember, just 5 years ago, Iran fired ballistic missiles, dozens of them, at U.S. troops in the wake of Qasem Soleimani's killing. So a lot of intelligence warnings. We brought it to you on air just a little while ago, and now it seems that those explosions are being heard over the capital of Qatar.
Setting aside the quagmire that we're currently sitting in and all of the factors involved, let's take note of what's occurred in the last 30 days leading up to this. You know what we're not discussing? The economy, the price of eggs, Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein files, releasing the Epstein files. We're not discussing tariffs, the effect, shipping lanes, what's going on in the ports. We're not discussing what's happening all around us. And we're certainly not discussing, how bad California is and the ICE raids and all of the illegal deportations or illegal arrests or lack of due process or any of the things, much less Elon and Donnie getting into a Twitter fight, X fight, and breaking up like besties always do. None of that's going on. And you know who we haven't heard from in over 10 days? Stephen Miller. If you do not think that what we're witnessing, bear in mind, they didn't bomb Tehran. They bombed nuclear sites, and not even sure how much or not they have done damage to and or helped and or, as Trump said, completely obliterated. We don't know any of that. What we do know is an action like this, and now that Iran has actually retaliated, what it has done is it's wiped away conversations and realities of all of the other things that were bringing Trump's poll numbers down. You guys stay frosty.